Hey, Tim Kerley here with your Friday FAQ. Let's talk about investment properties. Now, when you go to finance an investment property, there's a lot different about that mortgage than there is if you're doing a primary residence or a second home. So I just want to hit on three quick but three really important things that your buyer needs to know if they're thinking about buying an investment property and getting a mortgage on it. So number one is you can only finance up to 4 units. That's not just on an investment property, but on any property. This is through a traditional conventional mortgage. Now, you probably know with an investment property, all the government programs are off the table. FHA, VA, and USDA, you can only use those programs for financing your primary residence. So if you're doing an investment property or a second home, it's got to be a conventional loan through Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. They'll only allow up to 4 units. If you're financing a 5+ units, that's going to be more of a commercial type loan. The second thing your buyer needs to know is that they're going to need more money down. If you're doing a single unit investment property, you're going to need at least 15% down. If you're doing a 2 to 4 unit investment property, your buyer's going to need at least 25% down. And you probably know if you're doing an investment property, the more money you put down, the better your terms are going to be, the better your rate's going to be. There are some pretty significant adjustments if you're financing an investment property and you're financing up to 85 or over 80%, 85%. Plus, you're going to have PMI as well. The third thing your buyer needs to know, this was really important, is when they're financing an investment property, they're going to need some reserves. So what are reserves? Reserves are simply money that the client or the buyer has left over after they've paid the down payment and the closing costs for this transaction. Well, how much do they need? Well, if they are just buying a single investment property and they don't own any other investment properties, then they need enough money left over to pay the monthly payment for 6 months. So if the monthly payment is $1,000, let's just say, I'll make my math easy, they need $6,000 left over. That's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, the full PITI payment. If they own multiple investment properties that are financed, they're going to need some additional reserves for those properties as well, not for their primary residence, but any other investment properties. And I'm not going to go into the formula that we have to use for that, but just know the buyer's going to need some cash left over if they're going to be financing even one investment property, but more reserves if they're financing or have financed multiple investment properties. So that's the three things. Up to 4 units only. They're going to need extra money for the down payment, and they're going to need some reserves after closing. So I hope this is helpful to you. If you have specific questions on investment properties or anything else, please feel free to reach out. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. See you soon.